And now timbalo means something made in a drum. And here we're going to be making a meatloaf. I got to wash my hands before I can get to that for you. But a timbalo in Italian cooking is traditionally made with pasta or with vegetables. And today we're going to be using pasta or macaroon. Macaroni is what you would call it, but macaroon is what it was called in dialect. And let me bring over all my ingredients for this. And now, here's my macaroni. And it's just elbow macaroni. And all I've done here is cook 2 cups of macaroni. And that yields about 4 cups of cooked. And then with that, I want some tomato sauce. So I want about, a cup of tomato sauce. You want to just mix that in. And that's homemade tomato sauce. And then I want some cheese. And here I've got some mozzarella cheese, which is pasteurized mozzarella, and here I've got some provolone cheese, about a half a cup of each. And if you really wanted to get fancy, you could use fresh mozzarella. This is mozzarella, which is called fior di latte, and I want to put some of that in. And that's going to be my filling, and that can go back off to the side. And all you want to do is mix this up and set this aside, because this is going to become the filling for this elegant, timbalo, or somebody else would call it a meatloaf. And here comes the meat part of this. And now I'm using veal, about a half of a pound and 3/4 of a pound of ground sirloin. And I want to make a meatloaf. So I've got about 2 tablespoons of minced basil, fresh, and parsley. That goes in. And about 2/3 of a cup of Parmesan cheese goes in. And then breadcrumbs. This is stale bread, rather. This is 2 slices that I've soaked and then squeezed. And you can do that either in water or in milk. And then 2 eggs. Now this looks fairly simple, right? But this is, I think, very impressive when it's done. So beat up the eggs and then add them to your mixture, just like that. And then you can get rid of all that other stuff. And then what you want to do is this is my timbalo. This is what's going to give me my form, you see. And it's a spring-form pan. And in the bottom is a piece of parchment paper. And now I want to line it with something special. This is called pancetta. And then set that aside. And now you want to get your meat mixture mixed. And this was something that I learned from Mom at home too. You really never want to overmix meatloaf. It's sort of like overmixing muffin batter. If you do it, you'll have something that's rather tough. So I'm going to do what she usually does, and that is put my hands right in the thing. So get this mixed up. Now, once you have that part done, then you can go right to the timbalo, you see. Take this meat and start lining the sides of the pan. And you really want to go all the way around and seal that, because now I think you probably get the idea of what's going to happen here. The pasta, or the macaroon, the macaroni, is going to be in the center. And that goes right in the center. So get it all in, pack it in there. And now comes the tricky part. I didn't tell you this, did I? You thought we were just making meatloaf. Pack that in well. And now, that extra meat that you have left over, well, you've got to cover the top of the mold. And a good way to do that is to do it like this. Just roll over it, you see? Put the rest of the meat on between 2 pieces of wax paper, roll over it, and then say a prayer, get it over, and take the wax paper off, you see? And if a few pieces fall on the counter, well, that's just too bad. Get yourself a piece of foil. Make sure that's well packed down. Take a piece of foil, put it over the top. And now that goes into your 350-degree oven. I'm telling you, this weighs a ton. And in it goes. And then, when it's cooked, you see, Then you can take it out. And here's mine. Take off the top, take off the foil, like so. Smells good to me. This goes over the top. Then get yourself some oven mitts. Here we go. Go to the end of the counter. Then you do the flip. You've heard of the Hail Mary pass? That was the Hail Mary flip. So now you want to release the spring, you see, on the pan. Be careful, it's too hot. But I'm going to burn my fingers for you anyway. And take the top off, and this is what you're left with.